coming up on this episode, I leave Peniche and carry on my journey south, stopping in Cascais, explore this lovely municipality in Portugal, then moving on down to Sargres, where I stop for one night at anchor, before moving on again to get down to the south coast of the Algarve, stopping in Sargres. In the morning I decide to jump in just to see what damage the orca had done and check my thruster. And then I managed to give myself yet another leak on the fuel system. Brilliant. But first I think I'll show you how I make water on my boat. First of all, I open the seacock that allows salt water to get into the machine. I then open a freshwater quarter turn valve which will allow me to flush the salt water out after I've made water. Turn it on at the fuse box and then turn it on at the machine. I test it from this faucet first to make sure firstly that it's not salt water, it is making fresh. I then do a little dip test on one of the testing strips to make sure that it's good enough to put into the tank, and then I turn a valve to put it into the tank.
This is what you call an acceleration zone. So I've come around that headland, and just around there I was probably getting about 12 knots of true wind. Since I've come around, that's showing 21 knots. 21 knots of true wind. The engine's back off, just got the head sail up, and I'm doing 6.5 to 7 knots. So hopefully at this rate I'll be in the anchorage a little bit sooner. Fantastic. Got another acceleration zone around this headland, and it's worse than the last one. I'm seeing 30 knots. I've had to reef in the head sail. It was that bad. It was rounding up with the head sail. I've reefed it and it's still going. 30 knots, 32 knots. So I need to get out of this acceleration zone. Look out quick. I'm flying, I'm doing 9 knots, 8 knots, 9 knots. It's mental. I need to get around this next headland and hopefully it will calm down. As quick as it came, it's kind of gone. Although I thought it had a second ago, then suddenly it jacked back up to 25 knots. So I'm kind of reluctant to throw all the head sail back out just yet. I can still see some breeze on the sea. However, in for a penny, in for a pound. I'm just going to throw it out and see what happens. Oh, here we go. No, I'm not. Just putting the hook down now. I was a little bit further back there, but by the time I put 30 meters out I was a bit close to that boat, so I picked it up again, come a bit closer to shore. But I did read on Navally that you cannot anchor 300 yards or 300 meters close to the beach. So I've just gone just behind the first boat, so I know I'll be safe. I just had 30 knot gusts in here. I think it's sandy bottom, so it should be good holder. And I trust my anchor. I'm going to stick about 60 meters of chain out anyway, just to be sure. Pump up the dinghy, go ashore. So Keith is in the actual marina, and then we can head into town, do laundry.
Cascais is a municipality in Portugal. It's been occupied since the Paleolithic era, and with an important archaeological heritage. And the municipality was from an early age focused on agricultural production, fishing and resource extraction. It is, because of its scenic values, it is one of the most highly visited tourist areas in Portugal. and it is also one of the most expensive real estate areas. Now, when I was there, I did see a Ferrari, Maserati, so you know, you kind of know there's money, and the marina is beautiful but very expensive, hence why I'm out there at anchor.
If I go ashore in the dinghy, I put all my things in one of these waterproof bags. Obviously, if anything went over the side, it's fine because it floats, it's waterproof. My phone's fine, my wallet's fine. Usually take my water bottle, got a 2 litre water bottle. Well, when I got round to Keith on Aquila is around in the marina. So I took my dinghy, got his boat, threw my bag on the pontoon, and as we start walking into town, I hear a little bit of sloshing inside the bag. Where I threw the bag, I split my plastic water bowl. My phone got wet, my wallet, I was wringing my wallet out. This is just my luck. So the wallet and its contents are drying. My phone was working last night, but now it's not, so it's in some rice. I don't know, I think that's done. I think I need to go buy a new phone. Nothing's going right at the moment. It's really starting to annoy me. Good morning. Beautiful morning here in Cascais, Cascais. Yet again, another place I don't know how to pronounce. So the plan today is to leave here, head south past Cabo Especal, all the way down across Signs, going pretty deep, which means possibility of more orcas. They're all along this coast. I think after today there's no wind, it totally drops out, so it's either going to be a day of sailing. I'm going to get onto the next chart tomorrow, it'll be a day of motoring, or I stop in Signs. I've already spoke to the that's bright. I've already spoke to the marina there. I can put my boat there for a week when I go back to the UK. I'll fly back to the UK for yeah, just about a week. It is a week. And then try and get from Signs to Faro. Ideally, I'd like to get round to the bottom into Portimao, put my boat in there, because then it's only a quick train from there to Faro. But we'll see how we go over the next couple of days. My only concern is when the wind drops off, when there's no wind, sometimes the fog likes to sit for a while. So we'll see what happens. Time to get going. My heart just dropped out of my bottom. Going along and I see a black fin come out in front of the boat. But it's just where it's kind of still early and the light's different, these dolphins are just darker. Yeah, it's just a pod of dolphins around the boat. Good God, my heart. I just honestly thought I just took the auto helm off, went to port, and I was about to try and get shallow. Not that that helped, because they go about 30 miles an hour, so I've got no chance. If they're there, they're there. If they're going to take my rudder, they're going to take my rudder. But yeah, no more of that today. There's meant to be 15 to 17 knots of wind from now. It's pretty much all day, picking up after I get around that headland. But as you can hear, the motor's still running. I had the head sail out because it was pretty much right behind me. There's not a lot of wind, so the head sail just kept flogging. So I've tried something different. I'll put the mainsail up with a preventer on, because that won't flog. And I seem to be doing all right. I'm getting about 6 knots, which is pretty decent. Tomorrow, if I do decide to go from Signs down to Sargres, which ideally I'd like to get into Portimao in time, then it will be a whole day of motoring. So that's when I'm really going to put the motor to the test for 12 hours. Keith, unfortunately, he has had to turn around. He's no longer buddy. It was good to have safety in numbers, but he's got a leak. He found water in his bilge. He saw it yesterday, day before. His stern flange where the prop comes out is leaking, and I think it's just got worse. So he's doubled back I asked if he wanted assistance, but I couldn't get hold of him on the radio again, so I just assumed that he's dealing with that. I'm going to push on. I've got to get home on Wednesday. Today is Friday, so I need to be in port on Tuesday. I need to be in Portimao Tuesday, ideally. But we'll see what happens. I'm just on edge the whole time. If it's not the engine I'm worried about, it's Orcas. Touch wood, both will be absolutely fine, he says. I think that was a sunfish. I thought it was a shark. Could have been a sunfish. That's strange. I think the bird's going for it. Realise it's a bit bigger than what he was expecting, I think. They're not very large waves, but they're very steep. They want to break on. It almost looks like they want to break on the back of the boat. Couple of meters maybe. Well, boys and girls, this is signs. Scenes, signs. That's the marina, tiny little marina. The price was actually good, so I was looking at leaving my boat here because, as I've already said, tomorrow is a 12-hour motor. There's no wind, and I just don't really fancy that. I've also noticed I'm very close to next door. Probably should have dropped anchor a little bit more over the port, but I'm in. I'm not doing it now. I'll just pass them a cup of tea in the morning, they'll be fine. I've been hearing some music up on the beach there that I can only describe as Morris dancing music. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Morris dancing was a very British thing. If I'm wrong and it originates from Portugal or something, then leave a comment, let me know. It looks very pretty. There's a big castle on the top there. However, I'm not going to be stopping unless something goes wrong, like fog or engine trouble. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Tomorrow night, I want to be in Sargres. I want to be dropping anchor in Sargres. When that happens, I'm very happy. Right, I'm going to pack up for the night, have a shower, call it a day. It is 6:20 in the morning, and as you can hear, they're still partying. So in that big tent type thing, there was some concert on last night, and that was loud until about 4 o'clock this morning. So that was lovely. Mainsail is up. Not that it's doing me any good. I've got 2.5 knots of wind, but it's up in case anything does come along. I really don't want to rely on my motor all day. I don't like the sound of it at all. There's a couple of little boats out here and their ribs starting to come over to me. No idea what they want, but it's interesting. They watched me go past them, and now they're watching me go. It's very strange. Kind of like trailing me a little bit. I don't know what the hell's going on. Another milestone today with the charts. Moved on to the next one down, which is Signs, where we just left, to Gibraltar, which is over there somewhere. I've got it folded up. So we left here, Signs, and this is our day today. Long motor all the way down. I am so nervous, just every little flutter I hear on this engine, and my heart is in my mouth. So there's an anchorage there in Beliche. I've camped at the top of Beliche before on my motorhome, didn't get to surf that beach though. But around the corner is Sargres. The little anchorage there is Sargres. I don't think it's focusing very well, but that's the goal. If I can get there today, that's 12 hours under motor. And then from there, it's just a 5-hour hop and a pop to Portimao. I've just seen a speedboat come flying up behind me there. I don't know if that's anything to do with the other group of people. Something very shady going on. I don't know what it is, but maybe that's just on its way down south as well. Could be one of those big motor cruisers going down to the Med, or it could be a boat full of armed drug dealers about to steal my boat. They're welcome to it, the engine doesn't work. They've done it again, the little buggers. Fins jumping out the water. First thing was orca, but nope. The last time dolphins were at my boat, shortly followed later that day, was the orca. I wonder if they're trying to tell me something. Engines died, no wind, I knew it. Just bled some air out of the fuel line. Going again for the minute, but I know this happened last time and it was diesel bug all in the filters, so I've got my filters ready. If it cuts out again, which I'm pretty sure it will, then I'm going to change the filter. And if there's still diesel bug in there, then I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest. I've had enough. It's just cut out again. I've bled the line again. It's kind of going, but it's not right. The last time this happened, I took the filter off. The filter it had diesel bug. I put a new filter on, but I couldn't fill the glass bowl to get fuel back to the line because there was blockages in fuel lines that I just couldn't get to. The mechanics had to do it. So my biggest concern now is if I take the filter off to have a look and there is another blockage, I can't do anything. I don't have crew with me to help. And last time it happened, we was just outside, we had wind and we was just outside the harbour to La Coruna, so we managed to get towed in. We sailed all the way into the marina. Here there's nothing. I'm 3 hours away from the headland, and even from there I don't even think there's anything from there. So I think I'm going to be putting out a pan distress. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to put out a pan to get dragged in somewhere. I just don't trust this engine. I've got 3 hours yet, at least 3 hours. It's not going to last 3 hours. The engine had a few more moments. Stalled totally on one of them. Like I said, I pumped the air out. Another time she just sort of dropped revs really low, but I just let it do its thing and it picked back up. So I don't know if it's just a small blockage of fuel or whether it's just a bit of air that it burnt through. My big concern now is as we're going past this pretty dangerous looking headland, it happens again. Touch wood, she's been okay for the last sort of 20-30 minutes. I need to get round this headland. There is an anchorage there, but I want to get to the one further on, which is about half hour on. I know I'm getting greedy, asking her to do a lot, but when I get there, the filter's coming off, everything's getting checked. It's just the other anchorage is slightly better protected, so I'd rather get to that one. About an hour, I think. There's a bit of wind coming around this headland. Got the head sail out, nice. down, the engine is off. That day could not have been any longer. That was hideous. You know, I was really hoping to have got here with no engine troubles and then put my confidence back in this boat. However, she cut out, totally stalled once. She, like, the engine dropped God knows how many times. Just coming back around this headland, as you saw, I had the head sail out, so I turned the engine off, give her a bit of a rest, thinking if there's any air, you know, it would dissipate, whatever. Turn the engine on, it was on for about 5 seconds, and it started sputtering again, so I had to give it some revs, but then it was okay. I don't know what to do. We have to take the filter off, or if that causes issues, I'm stuck in an anchorage, a beautiful anchorage, by the way. This is Sargres. Welcome to Sargres in the Algarve. I mean, I've been in the Algarve for a while, but this is the proper Algarve because this is on the bottom bit. So I really feel like I've achieved today. I've actually got down to the south coast of the Algarve, which has been my aim for since I left. I've got 20 miles tomorrow to go that way. I don't know whether to do it tomorrow and just spend a day here and have a look at this filter, but if I take the filter apart and then there is a blockage like before and I can't put fuel back in properly, then I'm stuck in an anchorage. It's going to cost me more to get someone out to the anchorage rather than going to this marina tomorrow, and then anything happens, it's Portimao, so it's going to have loads of stuff there. So what to do? First thing, go and have a deep breath and relax, and then I'll figure some out.
Another job I've been waiting to do is to get in an anchorage where there's a bit better visibility, jump in and go check out the rudder to see if there's any damage that the yacht had done. And as you can see here, it's taken a bit of the anti-foul off when it was headbutting the rudder. Another thing that I wanted to do was go and have a look at my bow thruster. I went to use it the other day and it was making a bit of a weird noise, so I thought maybe there could be something caught in it, maybe fishing line or whatever. So I tested the battery was good. But as you will see any second now, the thruster itself was clear, nothing caught in it, and I think what it was I was just in moving water, and that's what made it sound funny.
Chilly, certainly not the med yet. Well, I've not had this for a while. Left the anchorage. Both sails up, engine off. There was meant to be absolutely no wind today, so if I can make my way all the way to Portimao, it's 20 miles, 5 knots, 4 hours. I'm doing 5.5. I'm in the lee of that at the moment. I think it's dropping. I'm in no hurry. I wasn't going to leave till sort of late morning, but when I saw everybody else, I don't know if you could see them in the distance, they were leaving the anchorage. I thought, oh, I don't want to be here on my own. But then I looked also, this is the headland, that's the Atlantic coast side. See all that fog? I am so happy that I've done what I've done when I've done it, because if I got caught on that Atlantic yesterday trying to come down from Signs, I think it was, I would be in trouble. I'd be stuck in Signs. Not the best. However, beautiful day ahead. Here's to a full day of sailing, but I won't hold my breath. This hatchway, don't know how many times I've stepped over it and caught my shin. Yep, all these cuts. I think I would have learnt by now, wouldn't you? I'm in. I am in a very tight space again. But this is, you don't know how happy I am right now. This has been my goal for the last, I think, 6 days, 7 days, about a week, because I knew that I was going home, flying home Wednesday. Today is Sunday. If I couldn't get past Signs or Sins, I had to stay there. And to get to Faro Airport from there would have been hard and expensive. So my mission was Portimao. Not the cheapest of marinas, because I'm now on the south coast of the Algarve. It's lovely, it's beautiful, it's very warm, but it means that I can now get to Faro Airport easily on about 14 euros, and only takes a couple of hours by the train. I'll just Uber it. But yeah, I got into my dock pretty successfully. Went to the wrong one first. The guy said has got a hotel sign on the other pile, and I went up that lane, and I had to back all the way out again, and with my prop walk it was just terrible. But we got there, I'm in, I can relax. I don't have to set an anchor alarm tonight. I don't have to worry about the anchor dragging. I can deal with a boat tomorrow. I'm going to get the filter off. On another note, talking of the filter, the diesel, I looked in my jerry can. I decanted, I've got a 30-litre jerry can, and I decanted while I was waiting for the fuel. I thought I'd put that older fuel in the tank and then fill up the jerry can. When I looked in the bottom, when it was nearly empty, look what I saw. Crap. I don't know if that's diesel bug. Diesel bug's more sludgy, but they're just, I think it could be actually. There's just crap in diesel everywhere. I'm really concerned. So tomorrow, I'm not going to do it today. It's Sunday. I need to get in town before things shut, if they're not already shut. And then tomorrow, I've got 2 days now. Honestly, I'm so happy. Can't wait to get home on Wednesday, see my family. Now I'm on holiday. Towel down, book out. This is what I came here for. None of these orca attacks and stressful boat issues. This is it. Just taking the filter off. Still signs of diesel bug. See up in the corner there, and it does look a little bit darker, the filter paper. Also in the glass separator, that doesn't look great. I don't know if it's diesel bug or just dirt in the fuel. I don't know. Kind of looks like that diesel bug. However, I'm going to change the filter. I really hope it doesn't continue, because if it does, I'm not going to, well, I'm not going to spend €1,000 and getting the tank taken out. I'm going to have to. It is what it is. Awfully hot work. That's just sweat. Awfully warm. One of the problems I had when I had the diesel bug was when I was at sea trying to get into La Coruna. I changed the first stage filter. You can just see the glass bowl underneath. That should be full of fuel. Well, the issue that I had was there was a blockage. Probably it could have been, well, it would have been somewhere from the pickup in this pipe, and then it stopped the fuel from going into that glass. So the reason why I didn't want to change this fuel filter at anchor the other day was just in case the same kind of thing happened. I've changed the filter today. I'm in a marina, it's cool, but it's not pumping through again. So it's either blocked, or maybe I thought I've not seated an O-ring correctly. There's an O-ring at the top. There's an O-ring between the filter and the glass bowl, and an O-ring between the glass bowl and that little metal catchment tray at the bottom. So I took it off again, but I think I over tightened it, thinking I really wanted to get a good seal, because now what I've done is agitated these bolts, which go straight into the diesel tank, if you can see there, and I've now got a fuel leak coming out of there. So where this is toppers, absolutely filled to the top with fuel. I don't know if you can see the drips at the back. So I've created yet another problem, another fuel leak, only this one is going to be a bit of a drama. They're going to have to drain lots of fuel out to get these bolts off and reseat that bracket, and then find out what the blockage is, and then find out where the air's coming in from. This is just getting ridiculous now. Don't know what the continuity of this is going to be like. I've been away for a week in the UK, got back yesterday, and I've brought a crew member. This is Guy.
Hello.
Now, Guy is a mechanic, and as you all know, I've had some serious issues with this blooming engine. We had a look over it yesterday, and Guy managed to find a couple of Jubilee clips that were loose. I'm going to see if I can get in there just a second and cut to the engine shot. So Guy done a bit of investigating, and these are apparently called spill pipes, which I never knew. And I don't know if you can see, there's Jubilee clips just on there. I'll get my light on there. And a couple of these were loose. So as you know, I've had some issues with the rev drops and the engine not being right. That could have been a source of air intake, which is not so good for the engine. So we tightened up a couple of them, and before I left for the UK, I'm pretty sure I showed you I had another problem. So the fitting, I had a fitting that was leaking in Figueroa de Foz. That cost me 70 euros in the end to get that done. But when I changed the fuel filter here in Portimao, I went to pump diesel back in. So let me just get this in there. So there's the filter I changed, the glass bowl underneath. So when I was in the anchorages in Sargres, I thought I'm not going to try change the filter there because I'm in an anchorage. I'm going to wait till I'm in this marina and Portimao, and I'm so glad I did, because the diesel wasn't coming through. It turned out this shut-off valve, this quarter turn valve here, even though it was moving, the ball inside, it had snapped, the pin had snapped it shut so that I couldn't get any fuel out. So that's cost me 270 euros just to change this. I had to get someone on board because I also had, if I showed you last time, a leak where they put this filter onto the plastic, this plastic fuel tank. When I, me being me, over tightened the filter on, I dislodged slightly the screws, these big screw bolt type things that are going in. So I created a leak, and I had to get an engineer on with a big drum to pump out some fuel to get past the holes so it didn't leak fuel all into the boat. So today's job is to take these screws out, have a look to see what we've got, and with any luck we can either just rebed the screws in with Sikaflex, you know, get a good sealant in there, and hopefully that will sort the problem.
Thanks again for watching, guys. Join me next week where you will see if I sorted the problem, also how my soldering skills are, making passage plans to get down to the Straits of Gibraltar. I pick up another crew member, a great story how we met, stopping some beautiful anchorages along the way, underneath this bridge in Cadiz. That was beautiful, and a little bit of tomfoolery with these clowns. Please subscribe, support the channel. It does take me a while to do these things, and hit the notification bell so you can see when I post next. Thank you very much.